So now I'm going to show you my layering system. Right now it's going to be work shirts that are cotton, t-shirts because that's the basic ones that give you us energy, possibly quality, classic, Indiana, transport, or maybe Horizon down the line, and Pinnacle. Potentially, depending on how many I sign on for. Tomorrow I'm starting with Pinnacle. So I have Synergy and Pinnacle, and then Classic, then Indiana, then possibly Quality, and possibly Horizon down the line. But before long, eventually this will be merino wool that you put as a layer around you. It wouldn't be like the long johns or the t-shirt and stuff like that, because it wicks moisture away from your body, and keeps the smell away from you for longer periods of time. So hikers use a lot of merino wool for that reason. So my preference would be merino wool, but at the moment, because of where I work, I'm gonna have to pack t-shirts, and I want to pack both work shirts and merino wool. So at the moment, I'm gonna have to go with that. Next to that, you would want to keep fleece, something warmer, so to keep the heat that your body does give off back to you. I like this fleece. It was $50 at the time when I bought it at REI, I think it was, but I may replace it with an Bauer brand name fleece that has zippered pockets, if I can find one down the line that has zipper pockets. For right now, we're going to pretend my green hoodie is an actual puff, blue puff down jacket from Bauer. It would have the Bauer name brand on it, and it would have a couple pockets, but mostly it would be made of the air pocket stuff. I don't have an actual puff to show you, but that's next on my list to buy, which creates an air pocket between the fleece and your outer shell, which helps keep the outside cold away from your inside warmth on your layering system. Then you have your 80 Bauer shell, which I just bought. Has outside pockets so I can conveniently put my stuff in it. Has a hood for outside, but it is very thin material. Doesn't insulate much of anything. It's just made to keep back the wind and snow and weather and stuff like that. That way you can wear it by itself with just a t-shirt on a nicer day that just has rain, or you can put on any layer that you want in between time and stay warmer. This is how you stay warm and lightweight. Then I have a army version of shorts that I use that you can use in the swimming pool, like swimming trunks. They're fast drying, but then you can also use them as shorts or pajama shorts or whatever you want. Then I have a layer of jogging pants that I would also use as pajamas at night when you sleep. And then they basically work as long johns at the moment if I have to put them underneath a layer of cargo pants. Then I would have basically a pair of cargo pants that split into zippered shorts. What I have them on right now. But that way they're both pants and shorts, so that you're always using your clothing in a multi-capacity, or what do they call it, multi-fashion. Anything you can use more than once is better than anything you can only use for one thing, especially when you're going ultralight. So there's that. And then for a second, I'm going to compare these two. So let me move these out of the way. Now, instead of imagining that's a puff down jacket, imagine it is exactly what it is. Your typical $10 green hoodie from Walmart, and a nice, really warm hat that I want to keep because it's really warm. Weirdly enough, it's the warmest beanie I've ever worn. Warmer than the brand name beanie. So I'm going to keep it, but this is basically your on the streets clothing, because you want to not look like you have money. And then when you go to the hotel or airport or anything, you want to use brand name stuff like North Face, Columbia, 80 Bauer, Patagonia, any of that stuff that says that you do have money, but you don't want to advertise that you have money. On places like the L train in Chicago, I would rather be dressed like that, so that I fit in as not a target. On the plane or at the airport, I would rather be like that, or at the airport hotel. I would rather be dressed like this because you get treated differently. You get comped rooms, you get upgraded rooms. Better stuff happens when they know you're a frequent flyer visitor than when you're walking like that, looking like a homeless guy. However, a homeless guy does have its fitting when you're traveling. That way you make yourself not a target when you're on the street, or when you're on like the L train or any other like city public transportation, stuff like that. You want to switch clothes and fit in. Now, occasionally, this life on the road is going to lead me to having to sleep on the street to save money here or there, and especially in the summertime when it comes up here, I'm not even going to bother getting rooms and whatever, because if it's 60 degrees at night or warmer, There's really no reason to get an airport, to get a hotel room, unless you want to get points or something. So I'm just gonna go buy get me a couple free layers of cardboard and go camp out. In which case I would be wearing that one. I might wear that stuff, that Eddie Bauer stuff underneath that to keep, because it's got pockets, so I can keep everything valuable to me on me. But I would cover it in that. That way you don't, if someone does see you, they don't take you as a target. The other thing you can do with living on the streets, if I can find it, is you can use a pair of socks. Hikers just use socks all the time for their gloves instead of having to pack a pair of dedicated gloves, because again, you can use them multi-purpose. You can use them as socks for your feet or gloves for your hands. But lately I picked up this woman's pair from my mom, woman's pair of gloves that are going to actually work better, because you can put a pair of scissors in here and you sleep with that, with your gloves on, with the scissors there, and even as you toss and turn, the glove will keep your scissors there. Then if somebody tries to steal your backpack out on the streets, you have basically an organized weapon that you can stab them with. And I've actually had to stab a woman once with it. The first time I got my stuff stolen from me as I was sleeping in Hawaii, they stole one of the 2 backpacks, and it was the better looking one, and I'm pretty sure he stole it because he liked the looks of it. It had his army and had like molly straps on it. Pretty sure he stole it for the backpack and not the stuff in it. But he got away with that one. Later on, I chased him down, and he ended up hitting a car, so he got bad karma for it and died for what he did. But I wasn't telling you that for the story. But that taught me a lesson to start using a scissors underneath my glove or my socks, and that way, in the future, if that were to happen again, I'd be prepared. Well, sure enough, 3 weeks later, it happened again. This psycho kind of messed up in her head, mental homeless lady tried to steal my bag, and I already had the scissors prepared, and I just stabbed her all the way through the head with the scissors. Because, you know, what are they going to do? They're not going to call the cops on you and say I was trying to steal this guy's stuff when he stabbed me in the hand. Well, I'm not saying this to scare people away from the streets. There's just certain places on the streets that you shouldn't be at, and I've learned over time not to be in those areas anymore. But you learn as you go, kind of thing. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you that there are different perceptions in this world. You can be the same guy dressed in this, and people will treat you differently than the guy dressed in that. All because it's brand name. You know, this screams you have money and you work for a living. This screams you went dirt cheap at Walmart. And it's good to have both while you're traveling, because that way you can make yourself look good when you need to, and you can make yourself less of a target when you need to. Like and subscribe, leave comments with Kitchen Flip.